Last time on the Skip and Josh podcast.
I think this coronavirus and not having sports, and I think this could be the final nail in the coffin where I don't even care if they don't ever come back again.
Wow. So maybe we're going to have to completely rebrand this podcast, Josh. Maybe we're not going to do sports anymore.
Well, it's just called the Skip and Josh podcast. We can talk about whatever we want.
Absolutely.
You're listening to the Skip and Josh podcast with Skip Sherman and Josh Obadia.
Okay, Skip, before we get into today's episode, I just want to update you on a couple of things we talked about last time. You will recall that I had canceled my sports channels.
I do recall, yes.
And last week you were so sure that I wasn't going to be able to survive. So just want to report that I have survived. I'm here. Not only am I surviving, I'm fine. Like, I'm totally good with it. I had no inkling, no desire to go and subscribe to the channels. So that's one update.
Well, based on a lot of the news this week with COVID testing in states and players testing positive and all that stuff, there's not going to be sports for a while. So you made the right decision, Josh.
The other thing that we talked about was me not taking my smartphone with me when I leave the house.
Yeah.
So that has ended because now I do take it with me.
But what changed?
Actually, the reason it changed is because I have an app on my phone that measures the quality of my driving.
Oh my God, that's for your insurance?
Yes.
Okay, I see.
And so if I don't take it with me and it doesn't register any trips at all, then I don't get a discount at the end of the year, right, or the beginning of the next year, whatever it is.
Okay, I understand. So
I do need to take some trips, so I do need to take it with me.
Well, if you could just take your phone, that's not the end of the world, no?
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, so now that I've updated you, we can get into the show. So, as you know, and the listeners know, this show has taken on many different forms since its inception. We've changed the logo, we've changed the format, and now we're changing the format once again.
Right. It only took 187 episodes for us to realize we wanted to do something different.
Well, I mean, it took less than that because we changed it, I think, at episode 68, and then we changed it again at episode, 115.
No, but what I mean is, like, most of the episode, well, I mean, the format is basically me and you talking about current stuff, basically, in sports, right?
Right. And
now you can describe, like, the big change that we're going to do that I'm really excited about. And something we've been both thinking about it for a while. And actually listening back to, like, the last 4 episodes, we basically talked about the same stuff every week. So it's definitely time for a change, right?
This is true, but if you listen to other regular podcasts that you listen to on a daily basis or a weekly basis, they do pretty much the same thing as we've been doing. They talk about the same things over and over again as well because they have nothing to talk about either.
That's right.
What we're going to do now, and I guess at least for the next 14 weeks or 14 episodes, is we are now going to each episode rank our top 7 blank. So there's going to be a new topic each episode, and you're going to have your top 7 of that item or thing, and I'm going to have my top 7 of that item or thing. And we'll talk about, you don't have to talk about all 7 of them. You can say why, obviously, they're on your list. You can say why number 1 is number 1 on your list, obviously. And that's going to be the show.
We've had a few episodes like this, top sports songs, our favorite expos. We had a U2 episode early on, where we kind of did this format. Can you explain to the listeners, Josh, how we arrived at 7?
Sure. So there are a lot of top 10 lists out there. Like, it seems every network and every outlet and every platform has a top 10 thing. And then there's also a lot of top 5 things out there. So I wanted ours to be a little bit different because, I don't want to just be another top 5 or top 10 show. Mm-hmm. So I had to come up with a number between 5 and 10, and I came up with 7.
Okay, fair enough. I just thought it was interesting that I'm like, okay, 7 seems natural, right? Seems natural.
Well, sometimes it's hard to find 10 things that you want to put on a list, right? So
sometimes, yeah.
And other times, like when, for example, when we did the top 5 Duke players, there were 2 other guys that were very close to making the list, but I obviously could not include them. Had we done top 7, I would have been able to.
Right. So we'll definitely have to come up with some ground rules in the next 14 episodes. Are we going to do whatchamacallit? Are we going to do honorable mentions? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if we should or not. Maybe we'll figure that out as we go. But
yeah, I was thinking about that, and I'm not sure either. We'll have to see.
So what we discussed, just to clue everybody in, is that today's episode. Well, you describe it, Josh. Today, what are we going to do today?
So, since we haven't even divulged each of our lists yet, like I don't know yours and you don't know mine, this episode is going to be where we determine what our next 14 episodes will be. And the way we're going to determine that is, you see, I suspect that some of the topics you and I want will be the same. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a draft today. So you're going to pick one, and then I'm going to pick one, and you're going to pick one, I'm going to pick one, so on and so forth. So if you pick one that's on my list, I can't pick that one anymore.
Right. So basically we're having a draft to determine the topics of the next 14 shows.
Right. So this episode might be a little short, which is fine.
Right. So I've been all week, I've had my Google Keep app on my phone, on my computer. It's been really active. Any weird thought that comes to my brain, I've been jotting it down. No idea is too small. No idea is too stupid. I actually have some real wacky stuff on this list. And now this morning I narrowed it down to my short list for our draft. And I don't know how many are going to be the same as yours. And to be clear, sports, music, TVs, culture, food, whatever, right?
Yeah, it could be anything. There's no real category that's out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
My gut tells me that of my top 7 on my list, you're not going to have any of the same of my top 7.
Okay. I only considered maybe that 2 would be, you might have thought of 2 of mine. So I guess we'll see, right?
I guess we'll see. So I'm flipping an imaginary coin right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you say heads or tails, and I'll tell you what it ends up being.
Okay.
You call it.
Heads.
Heads it is. So do you want to pick first or second?
I want to pick first.
Okay.
Why not? Why wouldn't you want to go first, no?
Well, if we were doing a snake draft, then you wouldn't want to go first.
I hear you.
But we're not, so...
Okay, so this is it. This is big, right? We're deciding the topics for the next 14 shows.
Right, and by the way, the order that we pick them in doesn't have to be the order that we do them in.
No, that's true. And actually, this is going to be a big change for us. The thing that you forgot to mention, which is, up till now, this show for 187 episodes has required very, very little work in between recordings by you and me. We don't have to do a lot of research. We don't have to study. We don't have to come prepared. And usually during the week, I jot down things that I see on TV or in sports or in the news, things that I want to talk about, and you do the same, and that's what we go with. But we really don't put a lot of research into it. But now we're going to have to. Now we're going to have to do research every episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I wasn't thinking this through all the way.
Yeah. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that we decided that we are going to release the episodes on a very strict release schedule. Every Tuesday morning, the episode's going to drop. Up till now, like we always say, we have day jobs, we have other things. So sometimes we get the episode out when we can, but we're going to try to stick to Tuesday morning, right?
Yes, we'll try.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready for my first pick.
Okay, so let's hear it. Wait a sec. Do we have some sort of firm managing and keeping track of the picks?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Simon, Bennett, Robin, Oppenheim, and Taft.
Okay.
So you're a lawyer.
Sagman, Bennett, Robbins, Oppenheim, and Taft.
Sagman, Bennett, Robbins, Oppenheim, and Taft. Sagman, Bennett, Robbins, Oppenheim, and Taft.
So there has been one common theme throughout our 187 episodes, and I just alluded to it 2 seconds ago, which is Seinfeld. So what better topic than to have our top 7 Seinfeld episodes?
That is a good topic. It's not on my list, actually, and that is going to require like weeks of research. So I don't think we can do that one next week.
It's very difficult actually because there are so many good episodes. To get it to 7 is going to be very difficult. And I actually have 2 other Seinfeld related topics on my short list. But maybe we can, I think I won't pick those today,
Okay. So is it my pick now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and again, I don't think that you have any of these, but here we go. Now, sometimes I'm going to say the word favorite. Sometimes I'm going to say the word best. Sometimes I'm going to say the word
Josh,
top.
I have the same thing on my list. I have favorite or best. It's going to vary by topic. Sometimes we're going to pick the best. Sometimes we're going to just pick our favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
So my first topic is songs where the title of the song has the name of a person in the title, a proper name.
Oh, I love it. Oh, it's beautiful.
So that's the first one.
That is brilliant. I do really, really like that topic, Josh. Actually, that's really, really something.
So originally I was going to say that the title of the song has to be the name of a person because there's lots of those. But sometimes a title of a song will have the name of a person and something, another word in it. So those songs are eligible.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with sports, sort of sports related, and I want us to rank what are the best sports jerseys.
That's a good one.
Now, this is like extremely subjective, right? Like what I might find really nice, you might find disgusting, right? Like you may love the Seattle Seahawks Thursday night uniform that looks like a highlighter, that's your opinion, but I don't like that one. So yeah, so anyways, there you go.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that either. You know what? I don't think we're going to have any of the same ones.
No, because I can see by your first pick, you've really put a lot of thought into sort of I get the feeling your list is not going to be just like best this, best that. It's really like specific. No?
Well, some of them are, but anyway, you'll see as we go down the list.
Okay.
So my next one is favorite baseball stadiums that I've been to in person. And for you, it'll be that you've been to in person.
Beautiful topic. Love it. Could do it next week. Actually, we should do it next week since there's not going to be any baseball. We should just like reminisce about baseball, right?
My favorite one, by the way, I'll a little spoiler alert. My favorite one, it's the one where they're playing all the bubble games next month.
Right. Okay. Can we include minor league stadiums?
Yes.
Because I have been to a few minor league stadiums.
As have I, yes.
So have you, as have you, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to remember all the stadiums I've went to. Although I think you've been to more parks than me.
Yeah, I tried to figure it out.
Maybe not. All right, number 3. I'm going music.
Uh-huh.
I had a list of like 25 bands. and then I narrowed it down to 10 bands that me and you both really like, right?
Okay.
And then from that I narrowed it down even smaller just to get onto this list. So I wanted to get like, our show, it's all about like the relationship between the two of us, right? And our friendship that goes back so long. So there's several bands that we've bonded over the years. So I wanted to pick one of those. So you're going to tell me your 7 best songs by Ben Folds or Ben Folds 5 or any variation of his music.
Okay. I love that. I love it. That's not a hard one to do, actually.
No, it's not a hard one to do. Well, I mean, like it's hard to rank them, but it's not hard to come up with like 10, 15 amazing songs.
Correct.
I don't know. Yeah.
So this is my third pick now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the third pick, it's the top sporting events that I've been to in person.
Oh my. I don't think I've been to that many in person.
You've been to so many sporting events in person.
Well, I've been to like regular season games.
Right. But you can include that because if you went to a regular season game that went into extra innings or went into overtime or there was an amazing play.
It's not the importance of the game. It's
right.
not like it's the more the Yeah. Okay.
Like what happened at the game. Maybe.
Oh, we've been to March Madness.
No. It doesn't have to be together. Like you could have been.
No.
With,
I'm saying like I've been to March Madness. Like yeah.
And
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe one of the events is it was a boring game, but you ate cotton candy and you really liked it, so it's on your list.
That's gonna be a tough one.
Well, you only need 7, so.
Yeah. Wow, I'm gonna pull out some random Expos games there, boy. Oh boy.
All 7 of them could be Expos games.
They probably will be. All right, Josh. I'm going. These are tough.
By the way, you haven't picked. Just so you know, yet you haven't picked any infielders yet in this draft. So you better start picking them.
I do have a thick category on my list further down that I'm not going to pick, which is baseball related, infielder related.
Okay.
We are going to pick our favorite Montreal foods.
Oh, I love that.
And I have in brackets institutions, like meaning like you follow what I'm saying? Like
I think I can do that episode like right now.
So you can't just say Montreal smoked meat, you have to say where, or Montreal bagels, you have to say where, like the specific place, like there's specific Montreal traditions and foods.
I already know what's number 1 on your list.
You don't know?
I know exactly why you're picking this category, because I know what's number 1 on your list. And by the way, your number 1, it's not even on my list.
No, what are you talking about?
Because I think I know what your number 1 is. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it.
Go ahead, number 4 for you.
Number 4. Okay. So this one it's going to sound similar to the one I just said before, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
Top 7 sporting events of all time. Not that you've been to, just that have happened.
Like games?
Yeah.
Greatest games ever, basically?
Yeah.
I mean, they should all be championship games, no? Or
I don't know. There's some really good semifinal games or Final Four games or,
Yeah, okay, no, this is good because, we basically had 3 months of watching ESPN Classics. So,
yeah.
So, we've seen a lot of the greatest games of all time, especially in March when the lockdown first hit. They were showing us classic NCAA tournament games, and then the transition to baseball, and NFL Network's showing all the Super Bowls. So, and we saw the '87 Canada Cup, right? So yeah, okay. I mean, that's pretty. I don't want to say easy, but yeah, gotcha. All right, Josh, this is one for you also. I thought this might be on your list. Okay. Another topic that comes up often in our show, not even close to as often as Seinfeld, but often. I mocked you when you first told me you watched this show, and then I discovered it and realized that it's great. So we are going to count down our top 7 episodes of The Goldbergs.
Oh, wow. That's that's actually harder to do than Seinfeld because there's not as many episodes to choose from.
Right. I hear you.
But I do like that category.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it my 5th pick now?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next category is favorite concerts that I've been to. But for you, it'll be favorite concerts that you've been to.
I hope so. I'm not going to rank yours.
No.
I've been to a lot of great concerts, Josh.
I know.
All right, number 6. Favorite play-by-play announcer, any sport.
Ooh.
Or maybe we're going to change that. We're going to do favorite play-by-play or color.
Or analyst.
Right? Or analyst, yeah. Or analyst. Yeah, because it's... Let's broaden the category.
You know what would be more fun? To do our least favorite.
Do you want to do that?
No, because that's too mean.
I was thinking about that with the jerseys. Instead of doing the best jerseys, like, why don't we pick the worst? But there's so many bad ones.
You know what? After we do these 14 episodes, we're going to then do the opposite. So we're going to do the worst of all of these categories.
Actually, yeah, we could.
Okay, what am I on? Number
6.
Number 6. Okay, so this is sort of related to your topic, but actually completely different than your topic. Nothing to do with yours.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite mascots.
Well, we're as you have said many times, we are a mascot-friendly show, right?
And by the way, congratulations to Youppi, who officially got inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame.
Right. We are definitely a mascot-friendly show. And, well, I mean, obviously, Youppi's number one, no? How could he not be number one on both our lists?
I don't know. I haven't ranked them yet.
I don't even know if I can name 7 mascots.
I think you can.
I'm going to pull out the old picture. I have the picture right here, Josh. Hold on. I'm going to hold it up to the screen. This is...
Yeah. I was just going to say, remember the mascot we met in Syracuse?
Yeah, the North Carolina Tar Heel.
Well, that can't be one of our top 7. In fact,
no, I wanted to punch him, but he had tight security around him.
But I thought we met the Villanova mascot like 2 minutes earlier.
We did, and the cheerleaders.
So there you go.
I didn't pay attention to the mascot. We weren't paying much attention to the mascot because we were with the cheerleaders.
That's a forgivable mistake.
Right. All right, so I'm on my last one.
Yes. And so far, we don't have any of the same.
As long as I've known you, Josh, if I could say one thing about you that has always been true, one consistent thing about you, is that anytime we've ever been to a restaurant, you've never had a plate of fries that you didn't finish.
That is true.
So we are going to rank the best fries
in the world.
I'm talking about like by restaurant,
okay.
like from where you get them from. Like, is it McDonald's? Is it Five Guys? Is it a specific restaurant in Toronto? Specific restaurant in Montreal? Specific restaurant that you've been to on your travels somewhere else in the world? Where are the best fries?
I have to tell you, there are very, very few, almost no good French fries in Toronto.
Really?
It's like terrible.
It's a French fry wasteland.
It's like, I don't know. Do they not know how to make French fries in Toronto? I just don't get it.
That's super funny though, right?
There's one place I know of that had really good fries, and I think they shut down. Not because they're fries, they shut down.
Right, okay.
But I'm gonna include them on the list, even though they don't exist anymore.
Okay. You're on your last pick.
My last pick is, to end the draft, favorite cartoon characters.
It's super weird.
I mean, I already know who my number 1 is.
This is a really good category, by the way. We're going to learn a lot about each other by that category. Actually, we're not going to learn about each other. I think we already know too much about each other. But the listeners are going to learn a lot about us from that category more than any of the others.
That's potentially true.
Did you know that I once went to a Rocky and Bullwinkle film festival?
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me, actually. What I would have been less surprised is if you said you went to a Ren and Stimpy festival.
Oh, well, there you've revealed number 1. All right, that's the list.
That's the list.
You just made the list!
And actually, I have honorable mentions that I'm not going to mention.
No. Honorable mentions are going to be the next episodes.
No, I'm just saying, I have I only gave you 7 topics. I have more than 7 topics on my list. I'm not going to mention the ones that I didn't say out loud.
I have tons of items. I have a huge list. I have like at least 15 more things that I could have went to, but I didn't think they were as good as these top 7.
Right. Same with me.
So this is it. We wanted to have shorter episodes, and it's going to be.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. All right, Josh. I love the list. I'm very happy with my top 7. I think you're happy with yours. I can't wait to do it.
By the way, I got every pick that I wanted.
Me too. Yeah. I should have traded. You should have traded to move up to number 1.
You know what? I didn't need to. You could have taken the first 7 in a row. I still would have got everything I wanted.
That's right.
The Skip and Josh podcast is available wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. If you listen to the show through Apple Podcasts, please leave a review. To interact with the show, send an email to skipandjoshshow@gmail.com. Follow the show on Twitter @skipandjosh, and go to facebook.com/skipandjosh to like the show page. To see links mentioned on today's episode, go to skipandjosh.com. And now for some final thoughts from the guys.
So, Josh, I got some listener mail this week, as usual. Mark from Philadelphia, one of our biggest fans, and he sent me a very interesting article.
About?
25 things hiding in sports logos that you didn't know.
Oh, this is great because I already know some of them.
Yeah, I mean, actually, there's many that I was like, oh yeah, I obviously know that. Like the Milwaukee Brewers' old logo. Did you know that it's the shape of a catcher's mitt? Yes, but maybe some
That's
people
why-
don't see that.
That's
Yeah.
why it's one of my top 2 favorite logos.
Right. But they have other things in there that I actually had never noticed. That like the Atlanta Falcon, it makes the shape of an F. And the Dallas Maverick, the horse has an M on its forehead for Maverick.
This could have been one of our shows. This could have been one of our episodes.
I know. And then the Expos logo is in this list. And I mean, we could probably do a whole episode. Well, not anymore. It's not a top 7, but we can go on for probably a good half hour about the origin of the Expos logo because it's a little bit shrouded in a mystery and no one really actually knows what it is. But anyways, I'll post the link. And it's a really fun read. Like it's short and it shows you all the logos and it's really fun to look at.
This really, we could have done top 7 logos. It could have been an episode, but very timely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the logos is going to tie into the top 7 jerseys.
Yes.
Right? In a way. Yeah.
So I wanted to let you know that lately I've been thirsty for new content. And
yeah. You mean like shows to watch or podcasts? Or?
Exactly, yes, but specifically podcasts. So I actually tried 4 new podcasts this week.
I can't wait to hear because I want new ones too.
Right. And I'm only going to tell you about one of them because 3 of the 4 didn't make the cut for me.
Okay.
But one of them did, and I'm going to continue listening to it. And I was going to send you the link, but I figured I'd wait to tell you today. And sure. I really do think that you're actually going to like this podcast. Before I tell you the name of it, this podcast used to be, and actually still is, a radio show that I've been hearing for, I don't know, maybe 20 years. It only became a podcast, when podcasts became popular.
They just basically decided to record their radio show, right?
Right, exactly. So it's interesting because I always used to be so frustrated when I would turn on the radio and it was just the end of the show and I had just missed it. So I was very upset. But now with podcasts, I can just listen to the whole thing from the beginning whenever I want.
What is it, Bob McCowan?
It's not Bob McCowan, no. So I don't know if you've ever heard this because really it originated in Toronto and you've never really listened to Toronto radio. So I'm not sure if you even know about it. It's called The Ongoing History of New Music, and it's with Alan Cross.
I don't know it at all.
Okay, so I'm going to send
Who's
you...
Alan Cross?
He is, I don't know, I guess he used to be a DJ on Toronto radio. He might still be a DJ on Toronto radio. And he does this weekly show. And it's actually very interesting. I'm surprised I never told you about it. Now you can get it too because, again, it's in podcast format. Mm-hmm. And there's too many episodes. Like, there's no way you can go back and listen to all of them. It'll just take you too long. But I'm going to send you the link to a recent one that I listened to that I think you're going to like. And then you can pick and choose whichever ones you want to listen to.
I can't wait. That's great. Can you tell me the ones that didn't make the cut? Quick.
I don't really want to tell you because it's too mean.
Okay. Why? It's people we know or?
No, we don't know them. It's just...
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought maybe it's like an independent podcast or something. Oh, okay.
No, they're all the ones that didn't make the cut. They're all, well, I mean,
okay.
I don't know if they're all well known, but they're known.
I like that, Josh. You're a mensch. You're a stand-up guy. It's too mean. We're not gonna. Like your parents and grandparents always told you. If you don't have something good to say, don't say it. Right.
Right, but I haven't always subscribed to that.
I know you haven't. That's
theory.
For sure. All right, so same time next week.
Actually, the time and the date doesn't matter anymore.
No, but for the listeners, it will be the same time next week, and we'll do our first top 7, and I guess now we'll have to choose which one we're going to do first, right?
Right. By the way, the listeners, for all they know, they're going to be hearing this over the next 14 weeks. We might do all of them today.
We might, yeah. Well, no, we have research to do, but yeah, you're right. We could do them all like today. Okay. Great chatting, Josh. Speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.